Hello everybody, we are back for a second video this week. I know the Bendigo video took a little bit longer than I was expecting to come out, but that should have been out earlier this week, which, oh gosh, that took me a long time to edit that. My computer kept getting full and I had to keep transferring things off, and then I had all these sort of render problems and I finally got it out. So I'm happy that it's up and it's out. But hi, my name is Julieanne. Welcome to These Here Parts. This is my little corner of the YouTube internet, and here we talk about all my crafting that I love to do. We have Elvis here in a tissue because my nose has been running all day because it's cold. That's Elvis, and he'll be hanging out with us probably for most of today. I'm probably not going to be here for a long time because I am trying to get back to my roots where I shared the things that I was working on every week. And I used to love doing those videos every week, but they didn't ever performed very well. But I did have quite a good community spring up around me, and I want to get that community back. I want to be able to talk to you guys every week and share what I'm working on, and hear what you're working on, and just when you used to chat back to me in the comments, I used to love it. I know I've tried to do more kind of like project vlog kind of stuff, but that's very hard for me to keep on top of because, as I've spoken about before, I tend to mix and match my projects, and I get bored of something and I move on to something else. So it's very hard for me to film all the sort of process of an entire project because I need to then store videos around and then edit little bits, and then I have to add to it later, and it's a lot of work to kind of have something like that be cohesive and just be done, just to be complete, and then I don't post on here. So I would rather do these little regular catch-ups, share what I'm working on, show you what I've made, to touch base a bit more regularly and get some extra stuff up here on my YouTube channel and have it not be abandoned. So that is why we are here. I'm going to have a quick rundown of I've got some Tour de Fleece skeins that I finished that I want to share, and I have 2 knitted projects that I also want to share, and I also have a new acquisition which is beautiful and I have to share with you because I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the maker of it, and I'm a big fan of the product that I received. So without further ado, let's get on to some knitting. So on the weekend, I caught up with my friend who was supposed to be coming with me to Bendigo but was unable to come, and I took her all her goodies, and as I guess a thank you, she had thrifted some of this yarn. So this is some opal sock yarn. Well, it's the 6 ply sock yarn. So it's a 75/25, I believe, merino nylon, and it's a 6 ply. So I'm making boot socks, as you probably saw very quickly there. So she was lucky enough to thrift 3 balls of this. She didn't really care for this colorway, so she let me have it as a little thank you for schlepping her stuff back from Bendigo and then up to her house on the weekend. So like I said, I have been making some boot socks, and I've realized I've just left my finished sock because I'm already onto my second sock. I've left my first sock over there, so I'm just going to grab it. Give me a second. Okay. So this was my finished sock, and I finished this really quickly. This knit up so quick. So as I say, it's opal, turn it the other way so you don't see my stitch marker. So this is opal yarn in their 6 ply. I believe this one was called, it was a rainforest like range, I guess you would call it, a rainforest range of yarn. And this one, I'm not going to say the German because it does have a German name, but the translation was the Petite Emily, I believe, was the colorway that I have. I managed to find it on Ravelry. So I really like this band here. It kind of looks a bit like watermelon, and then especially over the heel portion here, like it almost looks like the green skin of the watermelon, which is quite cute. So yeah, I've never knit like, I guess it's called a sport technically. I mean, on Ravelry they call it sport, which I would have said would be a 5 ply, whereas this is a 6 ply. So I don't actually think I have ever knit a 6 ply before. I have knit sport weight before, or something that's called sport weight, but never knit a 6-ply. So the balls were quite big. This ball had something taken out of it. I think it was supposed to be 150 grams, but it was 142. So somebody has used a little bit of this ball, but that's fine. I'm going to have plenty to do my socks, and possibly I might even have enough to do a couple of shorty socks, because I like to wear shorty socks to bed if my feet are cold, and I usually can't sleep if my feet are cold. So it is helpful to have a little pair of like shorty socks just to wear in bed. So I'm hoping I'll have enough there to do a second pair of socks. But yeah, these are really cozy. Sorry, my bird is going crazy outside. Marion is going off her brain. You probably can't hear it because I'm using my mic, but Elvis he has to jump every time she makes a noise. So that is why he's coming and going. I apologize for him being a complete doofus. What was I saying? I do like how squishy. These are going to be really nice just to wear around the house, because I do wear my hand knit socks around the house all the time. And usually they're just 4-ply socks, and I can wear those in shoes. All of my shoes fit my 4-ply socks. They will not fit these socks, I don't think, but these will be nice and cozy to wear around the house. Whoa, now, what was the name of the pattern? The pattern it's by Winwick Mum, and I believe it's just basic boot socks. I'll obviously put the link in the description. Yeah, I think it's just basic boot socks 6-ply, because Winwick Mum has 3 different basic sock patterns. So for your 4-ply, 6-ply and 8-ply, and they're all available for free. And that is what I'm using. So I think I have just finished the decreases for my second gusset. So yeah, I'm trucking along in these, and they should be finished by next week, and potentially I might even have a second pair of shorty socks by next week. But that's probably what I've been focusing on the most over the weekend, was knitting on these socks, but I do have another project that I want to share. All right, before I begin in this project, let's just have a quick moment for my super cute needle stoppers. I got these from my lovely friend Sam, who used to dye under the name of Maker Moran. She's now sadly no longer dyeing yarn. I hope everybody understood that. You know, I just talk about my hand dyed yarn friends. Yeah, so sadly she's not dyeing yarn anymore, but I did manage to get these little cute needle stoppers, Highland Cow needle stoppers, from her while she still had her shop open. But my project here is actually, it's my travel project. This is the only thing I took to Bendigo with me to knit on. So yeah, I have most of a sweater, and this is called the Mia sweater, and it is available on Ravelry. I will of course put the link in the description, and I am knitting this out of some of my own hand-dyed yarns. This is my Nundle sock base, so it's from the New South Wales mill Nundle. I really like their sock yarn, and it comes on cones, which is very convenient. I actually did some warping last week and this week for some self-striping, so that will be coming at the end of the month. I will not be telling you any more about that today, but there will be an update by the end of the month with a bunch of self-striping because it's just so convenient to warp the yarn off a cone. Who would have thunk it? Yeah, so this is the Mia sweater. What else is there to say about it? Yeah, this was my travel companion while I was away in Bendigo. I got a fair amount of it done. I don't think I quite got to the separation of the sleeves. I did that once I got home, so I didn't get that much done. I was somewhere, you know, it's a raglan, as you might be able to see. It has this really cool, it's kind of every other round you do a purl on these ribbed portions. So yeah, every other round, you probably can't see because it's a bit tight in the rib. But yeah, every other round you do a purl, which creates kind of this ribbing, but it's not technically ribbing, I suppose, because every other round is knit. But I quite like the effect of it, and it continues down the body of the sweater. So yeah, this is, I didn't say what colourway this was. So this is my Nundle sock base, and it is called Bereft. There's actually some in the shop right now if anybody is interested. I did not alternate skeins in this. You can kind of see it, the second skein I used was a little bit more speckly than the rest, but I actually quite like it because the top wasn't super duper speckly and the final skein here isn't super duper speckly. So it feels like it kind of gradiates across, like it goes less speckles, more speckles, less speckles. Like I feel like it kind of gradiates through the project, which is really fun. And I love the collar on this jumper. Let's see if we can get it to focus. It's actually a rolled collar. So like you knit the collar sort of double height, and then you knit, you can just see where it gets knitted together as you go further down. So it's like a really nice cushy double layer collar, which is really fun. And yeah, I think I am almost ready to start the bottom ribbing on this. I need to try it on, which means taking it off the needles because I'm a larger girl. My needle cable is not long enough for me to be able to put it on. So I will need to put it on some waste yarn and test the length of it because I am a long body. I have a very long body and I hate when my jumpers, like my my framed jumper, which I finished and I wore in Bendigo, was too short, and I don't want, because the framed is knit bottom up, I don't want to rip all the top out so that I can make it longer. So that was a sad story, but at least with this one it is top down and I can put it on some yarn and try it on. I just haven't done it yet, but I think it is nearly at that point. I mean, I could hold it. I'll be blocking my microphone, but holding it up against myself, I reckon it's nearly there. So yes, that is my Mia sweater, and my other little friend that has been keeping me company as I've been knitting this is my little unicorn. So I actually had I shared this on Instagram saying that I really think I should probably put some more in the shop, and I had quite, how many, 2 or 3 people I think got in touch and said, yes, please put those in the shop. One person in particular actually said that they would wear them as earrings. So that was a fun idea because this is the way I used to make mine, with like a little lobster clip. So you see it's got a little lobster clip. I now make all of my Progress Keepers with earring clasps on them. So if somebody does want them as earrings, they can be worn as earrings. So that is a fun idea. So I think I'm going to get some of those up in the shop this month as well, which will be fun. But those are the 2 things, throw it on the ground. Those are the 2 things that I have been working on this week. Okay, let's get on to some yarn that I have made for Tour de Fleece. So I didn't get a lot finished this year. I got 2 skeins kind of done, and this one was started in last year's Tour de Fleece. So the bobbin of singles that that half of this was made from was actually very old and very slack. There was not a lot of tension left in it. So this one was a bit of a story. This one I just kind of squeaked it through, if you give me the allowance of time zones, because the race would have still been going, but technically it was the day after it finished in Australia. So yeah, I'm just going to count it because it got finished. So anyway, first things first, this is the first one I finished, and this was with some fibre that I got from Fibre Arts Shed last year. I cannot remember the name of what the colorway of the fibre was, but I will look it up and I will chuck it in the description, and if they still have it in the shop, if that's a blend that they have still, I will put a link to that as well. So this was just a 2-ply, and I spun this on my Pippy Pipey Wendy. I'm not sure whether it's Pippy or Pipey. I always call it Pippy, but it only has 1 P, like in the middle, P-I-P-Y. Not P-I-P-P-Y. But yeah, my Wendy. So if you were following along with the Tour de Fleece lives that I was doing, if you haven't, they are all on my YouTube channel. You just have to click on the live portion of the channel and they'll all come up. Yeah, so you would have seen me spinning on this if you were catching up with my lives. And yeah, because I had the problem of one of the bobbins of singles being done a year ago and basically having been sat for a year, and nothing done to them, they were very slack. So, you know, if you're a spinner, like usually when you'll probably know this, but usually when you pull a single off a bobbin and it's more freshly spun, you can kind of slacken it off and it will twist back on itself. Like there's a lot of energy in those singles. But because these ones had been sitting for a whole year, there was like no energy left in them. You could wind it off the bobbin and it would just be slack, like nothing would happen. So one of the suggestions that Nat made, thank you Nat, was to run the single back through the wheel. However, my Wendy is very temperamental and often likes to throw the drive band. So once I tried to put it back through the wheel, the drive band kept throwing. I couldn't get it. I don't know whether it's just the speed that I was, because obviously I only needed a touch of energy to it so that it would ply okay, and it just kept throwing the drive band. So I ended up putting it back through my Ashford e-spinner to get a little bit of energy back into that single, and then I plied them on my Ashford e-spinner. As of Tour de Fleece last year, I had spun a bobbin and a half-ish of singles from this fibre. So technically a bobbin and a half was unenergized. But then I just continued spinning onto that second bobbin. And I don't know how much that affected the way it plied. But anyway, I mean, I haven't done any yardage or anything on this yet, so I don't know how much yarn I have in here, but it looks to be maybe like a fingering weight, like a light to heavy fingering, depending on where in the skein you look. But yeah, I just really like it. The fibre was really, really pretty. It had so many different shades through it. There was like blues and yellows and pinks and purples, and it was just really a really pretty fibre blend. So if they have still got it in the shop and I can find the link, definitely go and check it out because it's really, really pretty to look at just the fibre. So that was my first skein. As I said, I don't have any deets on it yet. I haven't worked that out. So this is my second one, and we'll turn it around so you don't see so much of that white thread. This one was one that, like I said, I just squeaked it in, if you let me use the European time zones, even though Australia is a bit ahead. Yeah, this was from some Fleece Folk fibre. So that's my lovely friend Azra. This was one of the braids that she gifted me. If you follow me on Instagram, I shared it back when Azra and I first met. She gifted me 2 braids of her fibre, and this was the second one that I spun up. And it actually turned out way different to how both of us expected, because this had, I mean, you can kind of see it. So it had purple portions, which you can kind of see there. It has some of greens and some browns and pink, obviously, but it just, the whole skein has just skewed so pink, which was absolutely not the way I thought that this would turn out. So I love pink, so that's fine. I have no problem with it. But both Azra and I did share this with, I think it might have had orange in it as well, I think. Yeah, we were both super surprised with how much this skein skewed pink. So like you can kind of see from back here, like it just is very pink. And that was not what I was expecting at all. But yeah, it was a happy surprise. I spun this as a fractal. So I had 3 separate bobbins of differently divided fibre. So the first bobbin was just a single strip of the originally dyed fibre. The second one, I think I did 2 or 3. So I stripped the second third into 2. And then the final one, I think I ripped the final third into maybe 6 pieces, I think. They were a little bit uneven, so they weren't 100% like a sixth of that third. 6 of thirds, oh my goodness, like too many fractions. But yeah, I love a fractal, and I said to Azra after I showed her this, it's like I just don't want to spin anything other than fractals ever again, because they just give such a stunning yarn. So yeah, I was thrilled with how that turned out. So I'm probably going to be spinning the next thing that I'm going to show you as a fractal if we deem. I will get some advice from the lady herself, I think, but I'm probably do it as a fractal just because I love how this looks and I reckon this is going to look nice in it too. So let me just grab it. So this is my latest fibre acquisition. So it is from Azra of Fleece Folk Fibre. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. So these are, I guess, sisters because they come from the same dyer mama. And yeah, Azra was having this update. This was some New Zealand Corriedale that she dyed, and I was obsessed with all of the colours. I kept replying to all of her stories like, oh my god, this is so beautiful, I want all of them. And yeah, so I was able to get this one, which is called Chellam, I think is what that says. Hopefully I can't see the screen, so hopefully that's in focus. So it's New Zealand Corriedale, grown and milled in I can never say this. My neighbour is from New Zealand and she's tried to teach me this so many times, and I just Aotearoa. I don't know how you say that. I apologise. New Zealand, hand dyed in Sydney. So I thought this was absolutely stunning. Like the teal and kind of the burgundy, and like I am really starting to love. I think I've mentioned this before. I'm actually really starting to love like this goldy mustard colour. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to figure out how to dye it into my yarn as well. Like this one is just so earthy as well. Like such an earthy gold. It's showing up on my screen as far brighter than what it actually is. Like the whole thing is just super earthy. It's just so gorgeous. So if you can ever get your hands on any of Azra's fibre, I would say do it. It seems that she has become very popular very quickly, and it is very hard to get any of her fibre. But if you are able to, she does have a shop on Etsy. It is currently empty because her dyeing skills are amazing, and I'm so thrilled that she's doing so well. And yeah, if you can get your hands on it, definitely do. She's been getting a lot of different, because Azra is the fleece lady, so she loves all the different types of fibre. She's been getting some different like blends. I think she had the Corriedale and Corriedale silk in the last update. So you will see some fun stuff in her shop. So definitely give her a follow. I'll put the links to all of her things in the description so that you can find her. So yeah, definitely follow along with Azra and Fleece Folk Fibre, because there will definitely be more beauties like this. So you want to get your hands on them. So anyway, that is it. That is it for this week. I hope you did enjoy seeing my projects. I want to hear from you. Please chat with me in the comments and let me know what you're working on. Any comments, questions, anything that you want to ask me about what I've shared today, or anything else, anything you would like me to share in future episodes, please do let me know. But I think, rather than belaboring the end of this episode, I will just say, if you liked the episode, please like it. If you loved it, please remember to subscribe as well. And apparently it helps if you click share and copy the link. Apparently that helps. You don't need to send it anywhere, but apparently that helps to tell YouTube to send my video out to other people. So please do that too. And he's gone again because the bird is going crazy. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad that you spent a little bit of your precious time here with me today, and I wish you all super happy crafting. Please take care of yourselves till we chat again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.